Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of ZONOCraft Season 3. Today we're going to be working on the castle that I mentioned last episode. A few of you had some suggestions on what to put inside, but the majority of you agreed with me in the idea of putting a mob farm on the inside, a hostile mob farm for gunpowder, string, and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to be really, really cool. I thought, how are we going to do this, though? What's the best plan of action to do it? And I think the best plan of action is to basically do everything in reverse. As weird as that sounds. So, what we want is we want a castle that has a mob farm inside. But why not think of it the other way and build a mob farm and hide it by building a castle around it? That is the better way to think about it, because if we build the castle first, you need to sort of do some forward thinking. You need to think, oh, I need to make sure this part is wide enough. I need to make sure this part is high enough for them to fall. If you build the mob farm first, you can't then get it wrong later. I think that's the best way to do it. I think it's the smartest way to do it, to not get things wrong. Now, there's some simple sort of logic to mob farms. Things like fall distances, water, how far water goes before, you know, it stops. Obviously, I think we all know that water goes 8 blocks before it stops, so before you have to sort of drop it down a level for it to carry on, or do another sort of trick in order to make it continue. There is a few tricks to do, and the heights that mobs need, if you want skeletons and normal zombies, like by normal zombies I mean ordinary zombies and zombie villagers without any armor, then it's 23 blocks full. If a zombie or a skeleton falls 23 blocks, when they land, they will be at half a heart, which means a one-punch kill. Spiders are different. Spiders are 18 blocks. Spiders can only fall 18 blocks before they die, which is a little bit annoying, because that means that spiders are going to die as soon as they hit the floor. However, that's not really too much of a problem, because you still get string from spiders, even if you don't touch them. If they just die, they drop string. However, to get spider eyes, you need to kill them. But, on the other hand, the spiders, when they fall, they might cling onto the wall, you know how they climb, and stop the fall damage, so we might still be able to get some spider eyes from it. I'm not really that bothered. Spider eyes is only used for brewing. We do a little bit of brewing, but not a huge, considerable amount. So, do we want the mobs to be on a one-heart punch? Or do we want them to just die? If they just die, they'd still drop bones and zombie flesh and gunpowder and all that. Oh yeah, creepers as well are 23 blocks. So I'm thinking that we're going to go 25 blocks off the floor. Then if we want to have it as a one punch, we can always just modify the bottom to reduce the amount of distance that they fall. I think that's the best way. We also want to have a 2x2 tunnel for them to come down. That way, this will get spiders as well as zombies and skeletons and creepers. Because if you only have it one wide, spiders will get stuck at the top and block up the chute, and then they can't fall down. So it's always best to try and get spiders if you possibly can. Then we need to work out the spawning platforms. I'm going to remove these blocks. Oh, my inventory. I'm going to just remove these blocks for a moment. And I'm going to put them in the floor instead. So imagine the 4 middle grass blocks is where they fall. But obviously 25 blocks above the surface. And then what we need is we need little platforms. And these little platforms are going to be where our zombies are going to spawn, our mobs are going to spawn. Now the most common thing that people do, and I think I will, is a 3x3 platform. You can do it bigger, you can do 5x5, you can do 7x7, so on and so forth. Let's first design it as a 3x3, like this. So you have one 3x3 platform there, one 3x3 platform here, one 3x3 platform here, and the last one here. Then you need to think about the water now. The water needs to flow to this hole. Not where we've got the hole here, because these are meant to have blocks in, remember? Like this. Now, water can only flow 8 blocks before it runs out, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here. In fact, we can prove this. I've got buckets on me. I don't have inventory space for it. So we're going to have to remember where the other bucket is. That throws that bucket away. I guess that one. We'll just double check. Always double check when you got, no matter how confident you are, just double check, because you never know what's going to be wrong. But yeah, there we go. So it ends right where the drop is going to be perfectly. So let's gather that back up again. Bung that back in the water. And pick up my other bucket. There we go. I'm just going to leave it like that for the minute. I can sort that water out later on. So, what we need to do is have 2 blocks between each platform. See how there's 2 blocks between here? We need 2 blocks between here, which means the next platform is going to be right here. Interestingly enough, or perfectly enough, it's exactly where the water is going to start as well. So we'll have another platform here, another platform here. I'm building it on the floor first, because then it's easier to build it up in the sky. You don't have to think about spacing and gaps and struggle when you're that high up. We need one here. Oops, I fell down. And one, not there, right here. Okay. Oh, and this backside as well. Ugh, not wood. No, terrible. Why have I got flowers on me? Oh, I must have run out of I must have used that stack of cobblestone without realizing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and there. And then finally on this one. Okay, so this is going to be where the mobs will spawn, and then they'll fall into this area, which is going to have water that flows all the way down, and all the water will point towards the middle. But AJ, how do the mobs get pushed off? How do they walk into the water? They're not stupid. Why would they do that? Well, I'm sure a lot of you know, but I'm going to explain to the people that don't know, because I like to cover all bases. Using trapdoors, we can actually trick mobs into thinking that it's a full block. We used it on the Enderman farm very recently. If you use a trapdoor and you open the trapdoor, mobs still see it as a full block, so they still try and walk on it. And what they're going to do is we're going to have trapdoors around the edges of all of these platforms that are pointing downwards, so then the mobs walk forward, and then oops, they fell down and they get washed, and there's nothing they can do apart from apart from flow down into the hole. Now we can add some more platforms here. We can have one more platform in each corner. You can make the this spawner larger than this, but if you make it larger than this, it makes it a little bit more complicated for the water. The bigger you go, the more complicated the water gets to make sure that it all flows in the right direction. So this should be big enough. It's not going to be completely 100% efficient to begin with, because as you can see on the surface here, we don't have any torches in this area. Underground, it's fairly well lit up. In fact, I expect that my strip mine probably comes out somewhere around here. I wouldn't be surprised from the mesa. But if we light up the surface, it should be fairly efficient, but we won't be able to do that for a little while yet. Okay, wonderful. So what we need to do now is replicate this 25 blocks up into the sky. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so a couple of things I forgot to mention. Number one, when you do this, make sure you bring some torches. You're going to want to start lighting this up. Otherwise, while you're working on it, you're going to get mob spawning. And the last thing you want is to get close to completion and then a creeper spawn and you don't see it and it kablouds on you. So make sure you bring some torches up. When you haven't got the walls or the roofs on, or the roof on, basically, you don't have to worry about it. But once you start putting the roof on, make sure it's lit up enough. I think it's common sense more than anything, but I will mention it. And secondly, I forgot to mention that these platforms need to be 2 blocks off the floor. Not 1 block like we had on the bottom, like this. You want them 2 blocks up. And that's because we need the water to go underneath the trapdoors. I'm sure that you all would have figured that out anyway, if you were building it yourself. But it's nice for me just to mention it anyway. So, we're going to have this here. I put a chest at the bottom as well. I had to get some more cobblestone. But I put a chest at the bottom, dumped off all of that stone brick and normal stone that the castle will be made out of, because we don't need it right now. So, here is the spawning platforms for our mob farm. Now what we want to do is we need to make the walls 2 blocks up. You do not want it any taller than that. If you go any taller, let's say you go to 3 blocks up, that means you're going to get endermen spawning in here. Well, you might think, well, that doesn't matter. I don't mind endermen spawning in here. No, you don't want endermen spawning in here. Why? Why don't you want endermen spawning in here, AJ? Well, because this works with water by pushing the mobs down. If you have endermen in here, as soon as the endermen touch the water, they're going to teleport, which means they're not going to be... Oh, it's getting night time. This is where you should light up as well. Which means you're not going to get any endermen from it anyway, because obviously the endermen are going to teleport away, so what's the point? Secondly, if you have it 3 blocks high and an enderman does spawn in here, well, that just took up the spot for where a mob that you could have spawned. So instead of an enderman, that could have been a zombie. And if it was a zombie, you would have got the drop from it, or a skeleton, or a spider, or a creeper, or whatever. So it sort of makes your farm less good, less efficient if you do that. So yeah, 2 blocks all the way around, and then obviously put the roof on. Roof's just going to be a flat cobblestone roof. I'm using cobblestone because it's, I don't know, they're probably the easiest resource to gather. You can make it look however you like. If you're making it just the mob farm and not putting a castle around it like we are, then I would recommend building it out of a different block so it looked nice, stained. I think I'm dead. Yeah, it just, the autosave was there. I would recommend making it out of clay or something, because, I don't know, the clay just is a nice looking block. But you can basically make it out of whatever you want. Because we're hiding it up, it doesn't really matter as much. I popped like a cherry, didn't I? Wow. Let's stick that on, stick that on. Okay, okay. That and that. Beautiful. I need to repair this soon as well. My arm is starting to get a little bit knackered. But anyway, I need to pillar back up there again. It looks really cool. Like, if you put in the blocks that I have here, that block right there doesn't need to be there. But it makes a really cool pattern as well, doesn't it? Really, really cool looking. Anyway, let me get back up there. I'm going to put the roof on, and then I'm going to torch up the roof so they don't spawn on top of the farm. That's very important. And then I shall be back for the next part of the water inside of it and the trapdoors, okay? Okay, so that is up the top here. Now, the torches for me aren't probably going to be that important, because this is likely to be the roof of the castle eventually. So there'll probably be tiles on top of this, half slabs or something like that, to blend it all into the castle look. But just as a mob farm, to get it going, we're going to want to light it up. Let's drop down inside now. And this is what we should have on the inside. Now, I recommend not putting the water down yet. I recommend putting the trapdoors on first, because if you put the trapdoors on first, if you get it wrong, you don't get washed away yourself, and order the trapdoors. So, if we make ourselves a workbench, and then we place our workbench down, and we make ourselves a complete bunch of trapdoors. Like, a complete bunch of them. So, I'm actually going to make, oops, like a stack in each slot. Don't make 64 workbenches, whatever you do. Boom. We get 2 stacks of of trapdoors. You need a lot of them. So what you got to do is you got to go round the edge now and place down on the top half of each block a trapdoor. Now, this is a long process. Well, it actually doesn't take that long. It feels like a long process. But we need to go around all of this. And then we need to fold them all down. Folding them all down, I find incredibly fun. It's one of the funnest parts of the mob farm, in my opinion. Be careful not to fall down the middle when you get close to the middle. I've done that many times building these things before, and it's really not fun. Keep on having to pick all of your stuff off because you keep being silly and falling down the mob trap that you're making yourself. You imagine all the creepers laughing at you. Ha 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 ha, he fell for his own trick. But yeah, I'm going to do this. There you go, there's one stack done. So I think I probably need something along the lines of 4 stacks of trapdoors to fully do this. Oops, once you've got it, I shall come back. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, I used 2 full stacks and what is that, like 16? Yeah, 2 full stacks and 16. This is my 3rd stack, and I've still got 48 left. So that's how many trapdoors you need. It works out to be less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. It works out to be less than 9 stacks. I know that's not a accurate number, but less than that many stacks of planks in order to get enough trapdoors. It's really not that hard to gather up that much wood, those you saws. 1 stack of logs gives you 4 stacks of planks anyway, so you're like halfway there off the bat. Yeah, 2 stacks of logs should do it. Okay, so stick all these down. I loved it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the sound or the animation or what. I just love flicking down trapdoors. It's just a therapeutic thing. And down here, down these ones. Down these ones. Oh, I still didn't take rid of that block that's wrong. Or not wrong. That extra cobblestone block that we've got underneath that I saw earlier. I'll fix that when we go down. Okay, and down here. I do have 2 buckets of water on me, so we can make an infinite water source up here. Which will obviously be helpful. Saves yourself going back down every time. I think that's all of them. Oh, and here. Don't be silly. You guys saw what I nearly done then. I nearly went straight forward and walked straight over the hole. It might even be best to block it up for now. You could if you wanted to block it up. That would make it safer. That would be what a smart person would do. And yeah, not me. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do the water now. We're going to grab ourselves our 2 water buckets. And we're going to make a infinite water spring, probably in one of these corners for the moment. So place a block down there and there to make a little triangle. Place 1 here and 1 there. That makes this corner one an infinite spring. So it should be pretty simple. We put 2 water buckets here and here. And then we put 2 buckets here and here. And it should always make the mobs go to the exit. It should always do it. Here and here. Okay, we've got a problem. See, this is our problem right here. The mobs, let's pretend I'm a mob, okay? So I fell in here, and I'm just not going to press anything. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to let it drag me. So it's going to pull me down here. But as you can see, here, I stop. Now, I'm not pressing any buttons. It's because the water is just stopping right here. What we need to do is we need to make this water push us in either direction. Now, how are we going to do that? I'm going to have a think now about water logic to make this help out a little bit, okay? I'm going to work on it. I'll be back. Okay, so I've been thinking about this water and how it's going to trap a lot of mobs. And although eventually, yes, eventually they will just walk and move into an area that they can be pushed down to, you don't really want that. You want them always to be going towards the middle. You don't want things to get stuck. So there's a way that we can do it. I've just blocked up the water around the edges so it doesn't flow. It does require a little bit more work. It requires removing these blocks here and moving these down by 1 block, which isn't easy to do. But I think if you go around the edge and work your work your way towards the middle, and then you can drop down on there and drop it down by 1, you should be okay. So see what I'm doing here. I'm thinking about the best way to do this that isn't going to kill me. Basically, let me carve these out and you'll see exactly what ones I'm talking about. You can see that I'm just going around the edges here, but not going into where the water is. I haven't done a mob farm like this in a really long time. I think ZONOCraft Season 2 was the last time I'd done it, and it was very early on, and it was good, but it never was hugely efficient. It was never an amazing farm. And there was always holes and always things that I wanted to do to make it better. So this one will hopefully really increase our drops. So we want to come down here. So far I've gone all the way around the outside. And now what I'm going to do is stand here and crouch. Take away these middle ones. And that means that these middle 9 platforms, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, these middle 4 platforms, sorry, these middle 4 ones will have another block underneath them as well. So, we come down here. Oh, where's that block that's wrong? That one right there. Oh, well, it's not wrong. We need to put it there. What we need to do is we need to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Can I reach over there? Yes. Good. There. There. Oh, I did. Oh, can I get around that corner? Yeah. And then finally, there. And then all you need to do is fill your place back in again, but with this being 1 block further down. And that's it. It's as simple as that. So we just add ones around here. And now, when you've done all of this, the water, I think the water will now travel all in the right direction. It'll always go towards the middle. So this is the next test. I shall let you guys know if it was successful or not in a moment. Okay, I've got another idea. What it's going to require is us removing the, how would I describe it? The middle ones. That one, that one, that one, that one, and this one. Not the two, oops, don't do that. Not the 2 corner ones, just these edge ones, and drop them down. So, what we're going to do is take these away. Crouch. And then place these along here, in that bit, and then around this side, which we can do by doing this. That one, that one, that one. Take them away, put them back. Then put the water back here, and there we go. The water now always goes to the middle. There's no parts where it gets stuck. Excellent. Okay, we've solved the problem. I can stop crouching now. We can stop the problem. We can solve the That's a problem, though. Because we've raised up the water at the back on these corners. Oh, no, it might be okay when we do the other ones. Oh, no, it might be okay. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do this on the other 3 sides, and I shall be back. Last cut of the episode, I promise. I just need to make another infinite spring again to fill in these edge ones one last time. Or these middle parts one last time. So we want that one. We want this one. And I think the middle has now fixed itself as well, which is a bonus of a lifetime. And then the last one over here. Bing and bing. Yes, look, middle has fixed itself. Oh, that is fantastic news. So, let's now take this out. I want to put that one there. Then do that. Take away the workbench. And then take away all of the... Ooh, I fell. Damn it. I thought I opened it, but obviously I didn't. That one. And this one. Pick it up and take away the torches. So, I think the easiest way is to go over each area. You can jump if you're really good, but the blocks are like right above your head, so you need to be like super, super careful. Ugh. Stupid planks. Ugh. And then take those ones. Go around the edge. Open up those ones. Open up those ones. Open up these ones. Now, I expect that this will work. When we go down to the bottom, I'm expecting it to actually make a few mobs, but I'm not expecting it to be hugely busy, like a constant flow of them, because we've got so much other spawning places that they can be elsewhere. Caves below, the surface itself. There's a lot of places, but it should work fine. Okay, maybe I should put that last one back down again, and then just close up anywhere. Ooh, oh, stupid thing. I shall sit down here then. Oh, water. Water I hate. The nether I hate. Lava I hate. I don't know why I even play Minecraft. So many bits I don't like about it. There. Sorry it's dark. I think you guys guessed what I'm doing anyway. I'm just closing down trapdoors and accidentally placing torches all over the place, apparently. Oops. And here. And here. I think that's all of them, right? All trapdoors are closed. We do that. We do that. We find out which one is my safe one. The one I'm standing on. And we drop down. Okay. Now, I'm expecting mobs to start spawning. I don't know how quickly it'll take, though. Ow. Oh, you must have came up behind me. I didn't expect this many mobs down here, though. I need to light up underneath the farm. That's something that I didn't think about. Okay. Let's light up underneath here. I only used about half a stack of torches for the roof. You really don't need that many. You'll probably use another half a stack down here as well. And that should be pretty good. So, again, I'm not expecting much to happen, but I am expecting one or two to fall. The only trouble is that you actually need to wait until this farm has warmed up before it starts working. Because if it doesn't, if there's only like one or two mobs up there, they're not going to fall off. What you want them to do is loads of mobs to spawn until they end up pushing each other off as well. And then you'll end up with a ton of mobs. So, I'm going to wait here for a few minutes and I shall be back to finish off the episode with you guys, seeing a couple of mobs fall, hopefully. Okay? Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, he didn't drop anything? He didn't drop any zombie flesh? Oh, maybe he did. Look, I've got it here. I might have collected it straight away. Okay, so we've had one drop. That is the first one. I haven't been here long, though, but it must mean that it's slowly warming up. We're getting more and more up there. And we shall start to see more come down pretty soon, I think. It's really, really fun actually waiting for it. Hey, doggy, you can come join us now. Now that you ain't going to die from falling down off here. It looks so cool as well, doesn't it? Don't you think that looks totally awesome for a mob farm? Very cool design. And if you made that out of clay and different coloured blocks, it would look smashing just as its own build. I would recommend, if you guys weren't going to build anything around it and you were doing it just for a mob farm, that you would build it up off the floor. And then that way the mobs that spawn down on this level don't affect the rates that you get out of the farm itself. But we want to do this into a castle. So that's why we've done it down on the floor level. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode where this will be warmed up.